About 3 weeks or so ago in a video, I showed you that I got some bad fuel at a truck stop. Not the video with the black fuel, but the one with the bad fuel, and I had water in it. It was really bad. It was tons of water in the fuel. There was flakes of white looking scum, and come to find out later, after I kind of got rid of that, there was a clear slime that came along with it. So I just kind of want to show you what I did to address this problem. If you find yourself in a situation like this, definitely start hammering on it right away. You don't want to let it sit there, and you know, your Davco will get a lot of it out, your filters will get a lot of it out, but inevitably some amount of it's going to make it to your injectors most likely, and you don't want to do damage. So the first thing I did, well, let me show you first here what I did first. First I wanted to address the water and get the water out of it. Now, you could just keep letting it cycle through and let your Davco separate it out and keep draining it. We're going to need to do that anyway, but depending on how your pickup tube is situated in your tank, there can be some water sitting in the bottom that your pickup tube's not going to necessarily get. You know, it will slosh around and get it, but you could be stuck with some in there. And, you know, especially since winter's coming, I don't want to have this water sitting in the bottom of my tank come winter and cold weather. So the first thing I did is I found something to get water out. Now, there's different products. I'm just going by what I could find in the truck stop, and you definitely want to take care to read the label. Like Lucas is not specifically for getting water out. You know, Hot Shot Secret, not specifically for getting water out. This stuff kind of is. This fppf fuel power. I picked up about 4 bottles of this, and every time I'd fuel, I'd run it through. And then also, now this would help address the water, and I would notice when I would if I went one filling and didn't put this in, I wouldn't get as much water when I drained my Davco. Started thinking maybe I was at the end of it. Put this back in the next tank, the water shows up again in full force. So it does help push that water through the system. You got to demulsify it or demulsify it or whatever you call it there, and try to encourage it to leave the tank. And then along with that, I use this Power Service Clear Diesel. It's a fuel tank cleaner. It removes water and slime, and it says to prevent fuel filter failure. But we want that water and slime, you know, I'm trying to hit it hard here and get rid of it. This is an expensive scenario, but not nearly as expensive as putting a new set of injectors in. So along with this, I went through about 3 filter changes with it to get rid of, if you go back and watch the video again, you'll see there was this white scaling in there. Well, it was just tons of that, and it raised heck with filters. So I also used about 4 bottles of this along with this. And now when I got all that kind of worked through the system, the fuel cleared up, okay? It wasn't getting like the kind of water in there, and the white scaling's gone. You look at my filter here. See, it looks like nice clean fuel, nothing floating in there. Before I had all kinds of debris in there. And when that was all over with, I kind of noticed, you can see in here, in the bottom there, that's not water. There's some kind of slime in there. Slime would typically be like a biological. It doesn't move like water. It moves as a big. I was able to separate some of it out just by kept trying to get the fuel off and leave that in the bottom of the cup, and it was indeed like a thicker kind of something, whatever it is. Slime would usually have some kind of color to go with it. Whatever it is, biological, microbial, I want it out of there. I don't want that in there either. So I started hitting it with this killem. Now this stuff is incredibly toxic. So if you're going to handle this, wear gloves. Definitely don't get any on you. It only takes about an ounce per tank. The initial dose, I hit it with 2 ounces per tank, and then I'm doing about 1.5 ounces every time I fill up. Since then, like you can see, the slime is not completely gone, but it is it's getting there. It's almost gone. So the next couple fuelings here, I'm expecting that'll completely disappear. The water seems to be gone. The white flaking seems to be gone. And I don't usually run a lot of fuel additives, but I'm going to kind of continue with this just to make sure. You don't want anything microbial left in there because it's just going to regrow and if it left the residue on my fuel tanks, I just want to be persistent with it and get it all out now so the problem doesn't reoccur, and it could end up costing me even more. So I just wanted to share that with you. If you're looking for products, make sure you read the label. And you know, I know a lot of them promise everything and a bag of chips, but you want one specifically for the problem that you have. These seem to work okay. I've never really used this much before. I mean, this is I've mentioned in a previous video that coming up to winter, in preparation for winter, I'll take and run a couple of bottles of this through the tanks just to get out any residual water, you know, from the heat cycling and stuff throughout the summer, and the moisture that can build up. I want to go into winter with everything in good shape. Other than that, I don't really use this, but I've found that it, you know, I'm not endorsing it. I'm just saying I've found that it did suit my purpose here. And this this clear diesel, I don't know, you know, we got rid of that scaling and the stuff that was in there. I don't even know what it was, some kind of gunk. We got rid of it. Between these products that I'm using, it worked, and I don't recommend or endorse them. I'm just telling you what I used. So if you have a problem like that, I've never experienced fuel like that in 20 some years, and I hope it never happens again. So just keep an eye out. You know, when you drain your Davco, take a look at your fuel and see what you got there. So I just wanted to share that with you. Take care. We'll see you next time.